There we go.
Oh my god.
The marketing. It took me a minute, but I got there.
All the thing, basically, the thing about Die is it's deliberate design to make everyone writing strap lines or article titles have a fun time.
You know, if you want to research this book, you have to Google Die Kieran Gillen.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, just checking.
Like all the subject lines in it, when we sent emails inside the team, it's like subject Die. But that's why I Die. I do the comic book Die when I'm writing to retailers instead, so they immediately don't think I'm trying to murder them. Right, the way Die normally works is I say it should run 2 to 4 sessions. That's the kind of the vibe. And like the first hour is, in fact, someone just told me they did like a nearly 3-hour version of Persona Generation. Persona Generation is basically the structure of the games as such where you sit around, you generate a social group. Like these are real world people doing real world things and real world issues, as in it's kind of where your life's gone wrong, where your life's gone right, yada yada. And you all used to basically know each other and play. And then you step away from the table, come back as the character you've just created, or the persona rather. Then we sit down and generate a role-playing game character each, in character. So we play a role-playing game as a role-playing game. Mm-hmm. Then, like as you might imagine, we'll get transported to a fantasy world at some point, and then we go home or not. That's kind of the structure. What I'm trying to do here is, like, there's a kind of built-in structure of the game, so it's kind of got a very narrow beginning and a very narrow end, and the middle balloons out enormously based upon the issues of the people in the room. That's kind of the whole thing, as in you get the issues and you fold that back into the world. What we're going to try to do here is, instead of like being the more free-form questions, I'm going to do some hard questions around the room. And they kind of build on top of each other to hopefully keep a structure, which then since I know that structure, I've had it slightly more prepped, so the situation we'll be able to go into is a little bit more defined.
Right.
Yeah, and the way I expect to work is that since I've got the middle and the beginning and the end quite well formed, abstract, if I wanted to run this longer, you could balloon the middle in a quite easily accessible way. And in fact, as we are, we'll probably get a little bit. It's going to be sort of first scene, probably an interstitial, then final scene, and then we can all go home. That's the rough structure. So I've told you more than I normally would before we start.
And the narrator goes, but they never went home.
We thing about Die, it's very responsive to the players around the table in terms of like whether we go dark or light. Since we're recording it, I suspect it's going to lean lighter anyway. You know, also end of the carnival a little bit like loopy. But at the same time, like it definitely could go to almost anywhere the table wants. I haven't talked about lines and veils, but generally speaking, I don't want to go too hard, just because I'm not willing to. The X cards are on the table. Does everyone on the table know what an X card is? People recording probably don't, but X cards are basically, anyone touches an X card, we stop. And, you know, whatever just happened, we take a step back and find another way around it. It's not a thing to debate, it's just kind of like an emergency break, basically. Which is useful. Die can use themes of, these characters will probably be broken people. That's kind of the thing, as in I quite encourage messy people. There is the potential for inter-party conflict, as in, you know, you are meant to be at each other's throats or not. That's the thing, it's like it's a social game as such, as in it definitely could go there, so be warned that that is something that may turn up. Mm-hmm. Okay, right, what we are, that's normally, there is a setting. What we are actually is a group of people working in the comic book industry. And we are basically...
I don't know if I can...
It's hard.
A little too close to home.
This is
Far
the reason.
from home over here.
Yeah. What we're going to do is basically, and this is the last night of San Diego, and we decided to gather around, and one of us is running a role-playing game for the other ones. We all used to work, most of us used to work together, and we have shared history, and we're playing a game for some reason. I would say, okay, hands up, who wants to be a writer? In the game.
Sick of that crap.
Hey, right.
Oh, do we want to do introductions or?
Oh yeah, I was about to say everyone go around the table and we'll do the voice introduction stuff.
Yeah.
So Sean.
Sean Manning.
Sweet.
Cool.
I'm Jim Zub.
Amy Dallin.
Sam Blood.
Jody Hauser.
And I'm Kieran Gillen. And I'm currently taking pieces of paper to put in front of people so they can write their character names on when we work them out.
Nice.
And put your role as well. Okay, you want to be a writer? Well done, Amy. Who wants to be a publisher? Someone jump on this grenade.
I'm just curious what the other ones are.
No. You don't. You get them in order, and you don't know what's the end of the list.
One on each side?
Just the right facing. Oh, you write on both sides if you want to remind yourself, obviously.
I'll be the publisher.
That's fine. As a general note about the structure is that I've designed this so basically the characters that are actually essential for the scenario come first, and then the other ones are kind of additional. Like if you've ever run a murder mystery, that's kind of the vibe.
All right.
Okay, who wants to be an artist? Oh, you've got paper. Yeah. You got one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Not yet.
Yeah. Who wants to be a fan?
Now you were wishing you'd.
It got fun.
If you want to try it, I'd be happy to be an artist.
Oh, no, I made my choice. I made my bed.
Okay.
I want to lie in it.
I'm gonna be a fan.
Yes.
And that means you're a journalist, Sean. I was sort of dreading it. I wouldn't say dreading going that way, but it was that kind of like, I think there's a fair chance Sean might be quiet.
I have two of these. So
Oh,
I've
right, sorry,
got
no,
one
I'm just,
here,
oh,
so-
maybe that one's mine then. Oh, sorry, say, and I'm an editor. So yes, I am the bad guy.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
Just write editor at the bottom, or whatever your job is.
Yeah.
If the second you know what your character's name and pronouns are, just write them on the thing as well. As in, this is deliberately very freeform. Okay.
I
Right,
have to be so careful not
I know.
to do a straight version of someone I know. He's like, nope,
No straight
nope.
versions whatsoever.
No,
this is very much like,
direct version.
this is very like, oh, this could go very bad or very right.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
both,
right.
and both may happen at the same time.
I believe I volunteered for writer. What am I thinking?
Yes. Okay, just take a second, just breathe and think, okay, just think of who you could be, like the sort of like person you may, and it's going to define yourself, just breathe and think writer and artist and fan and that stuff. Okay, writer. You're creator of a very popular comics character.
I'm not the writer.
Oh no, writer, sorry, Amy. You're the, Jim's up, I'm not the writer.
I'm not a writer. What are you talking about?
Amy, you're the creator of a very popular comics character. Well done. Do you want to give the elevator pitch for what this comic character is? Like, ideally with a name, you can keep it incredibly broad. Like Mr. Biff, the superhero cow, would be suitable. But like, whatever genre, you have enormous power here in this moment, writer.
Oh, great. I'm so glad I picked the decisive one. I created... okay, we have an hour. The Chronicle.
Ooh, that's good.
That is really weird. Yeah, no, it's fine.
I like
It's
that.
good.
The Chronicle. So that's like, it's a fantasy comic sort of thing?
It's a fantasy comic with a time travel element.
Oh, that's good. Time travel fantasy.
Yep.
So Doctor Who with broadswords.
Maybe a little.
Nice.
Great.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean-
great. Time travel stories.
I was about to say, let's get to Eric Stevenson right now. I would pitch this comic. Okay, publisher. You're the publisher of The Chronicle.
I am.
What's the name of your company?
My company is called Tribune Press, and I'm Max Tribune.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. And how come you have the rights to The Chronicle and not the writer?
My family has basically gave me money to try and start my own business with, and I negotiated a very difficult contract with our writer and artist, if they have any rights.
Yep.
And basically, I'm very pleased at its success, but also hold it very tightly
Right.
and want to make sure that the IP stays pure for our investors, by which I mean me.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
So publishers, I'm interested. Why comics anyway? Why did you choose to get into comics?
What I tell the public is that comics are the perfect vehicle for both a visual and a narrative function on a tight, focused creative team that knows what it wants and doesn't want to have impurities injected into the process.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That sounds convincing to me.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah, so, writer, what's your greatest strength as a writer?
Swift, decisive action.
Sorry, that was awesome.
My greatest strength as a writer is little side characters people fall in love with.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. I love that. Writer, so publisher. What's the writer's greatest weakness they just can't admit?
Say it again.
What's the writer's greatest weakness they can't admit?
Oh, it's got to be schedule.
Yeah.
They're just
Slow, I
struggling.
love
They're
that.
they've been struggling with actually getting the book out on time, and I am deeply concerned about, where we're at.
That's great. I get that. You know, slow but good at side characters. I used to be an editor at Tribune, and I worked on the Chronicle. Why did you fire me?
Because I couldn't blame the deadline stuff on our creative team,
I love that.
so I had to blame it on you.
So
What's your character's name?
I haven't got a name yet. I'll work that out in a second. But I love that. That was genuinely beautiful. But why are we still friends socially then?
We've actually known each other for a long, long time. Like I would like, ideally, all of us are kind of either childhood friends or known each other since we were teenagers.
At least we are. Like, yeah, that quite.
Yeah,
I mean,
and so, I don't know you, but I did give you a bit of like not a severance, but sort of gave you some money on the way out and just said, well, maybe things can come back around later on, I need to throw someone to the wolves, and
so I know it's kind of, I was a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
I get that. That's cool. I love that. Right. Maybe you don't. But we can work this out. We play to find out, to quote it.
Right.
Do you actually? Where are we going? Let's assume you don't know that actually, or unless you really feel strongly you want to.
You didn't know that you were the sacrificial lamb, or that you were saying it might come back around?
Sacrificial
either
lamb.
one.
Okay, yeah.
What's the worst thing about working with me? In the game.
Oh, this is going to be.
So
these
all the way
pauses
through Darius, you just say in the game
in the
constantly.
game.
It's like,
The meta has gone meta.
yeah, where's your life gone wrong?
Yeah.
In the game.
In the game.
The worst thing about working with you was becoming increasingly convinced that you actually hated me.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. So I know you're about to get me fired, I guess. That's a great artist. Who's
Yes,
artist? Hey,
yeah.
Artist. You're the co-creator of the Chronicle. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Admittedly, don't have the rights, but still, good for you. Why did you quit? Start work? Why did you quit? Why did you quit working on the Chronicle? And why? Sorry, when and why did you quit working on the Chronicle? Wow, words.
Whoa, try that one again.
Word be hard.
I couldn't keep up with trying to make up the schedule.
Oh, it's just too much so it's an RSI thing as well, or?
Yeah, I started having
Right.
problems. I still do. It's really hard to get
This is actually
interiors anymore.
Yeah, this is actually the next thing I was about to ask. The next question is, when did your art start getting worse? So that's
Not when my hand started hurting, but when I found out that it couldn't be fixed.
Oh wow.
Do we know about that?
Do you want it to be public or not?
Yes.
Okay, everyone knows. Because the next question is, why?
I horribly want people not to.
Like, why have you come back for another run? Because you're now back on the book. You're just back on the book now.
We worked it out.
I
Or
need
something.
this.
I think this. Writer, the Chronicle's your big hit. Your only big hit. Why?
So I would say it's because I have a bunch of other ideas, but you were the only editor who ever got me through all of these stages necessary to get the book into existence.
So it's not that you've ever failed, it's just you've never actually gone and done anything else.
I've had a bunch of look forward to an announcement and then nothing.
That's right, yeah. Oh yeah, I was actually about to name a company, let's not do that.
Wow.
Oh dear.
I just want this to be carefully edited with beeps.
Yeah.
Man, that's just like when, just.
I was about to say, am I kind of be Tony Tribune? So I'm literally a brother or something.
Oh, if you want. Younger, older.
Yeah, it's got to be younger.
Well, dynamics can be either,
Yeah,
right?
you're
It could
right.
be fascinating.
I'll be older actually, that's funnier. Not funnier, the wrong word, but I'll be your older brother.
Yeah, older brother, but I've got the power
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you were responsible enough to handle it.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is awful. This is going dark. Fan. You're an enormous fan of the Chronicle.
Yes.
But you know, you're still a fan. Why are professionals called to hang with you?
I think I actually started one of the bigger fan communities online. I actually started a Twitter account for one of those beloved side characters, and it was really funny. So, you know, you kind of reached out to me, I think,
The
and
answer is lucrative.
they
Very lucrative.
thanked,
Good PR.
thanked me for the free marketing. And I was just so excited. Oh my gosh, she's talking to me. She knows who I am. So,
No, you are the classic big name fan and the community big. I love that.
yeah, but I try to use my power for good.
Yeah. You want to work in the industry, in the comic industry. What job do you want to do?
I mean, I want to be just like my favorite writer someday.
Okay. Amy.
The artist doesn't exist.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I missed that.
No, it's,
The artist doesn't exist.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
right.
the writer.
It's
What's your name?
My name is Julie Mayfair.
Oh, that's great.
Julie Mayfair.
I have another sheet of paper to look
I said so much. If anyone wants any more paper, you can have all the notes in the world. Okay, Amy, does Julie have any talent whatsoever?
Yes.
That's very sweet.
She had to think about it.
Yeah. How's the power play? How about like fan? Has Amy got a name? No. That's the writer's new run with Kiri. Why is it not as good as the old stuff?
Well, first of all, it's just taking way too long to come out.
Bam!
You know, and it just kind of has me worried that maybe like neither of them really care about the book anymore, and that's a bummer because so much of us still really, really do.
This is the most depressing game in the world. It's literally doing a story about deadline slippage.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm literally here and not rewriting an issue right now.
Yeah, which is a bit too real. Journalist. What sort of site do you work for?
What's that? Theo's Comic Box.
Theo's Comic Box.
That's
Yeah.
funny for you to say, like, squeezing cool.
Why have you been invited to hang out with this bunch of from the company of the Tribune?
I won a contest.
Oh my God, you're that level of journalist. You want
Man is a bigger deal.
You want to, yeah, that's great. You want to hang a contest winner. Brilliant. Publisher, why do you hold a grudge against Theo?
You are the same person that leaked about her injury.
There,
There.
both of us. All three of us,
Oh,
probably.
Right, sorry.
I'm going to say, writer, though, why do you sneakily respect this journalist?
Why do I sneakily respect you, even though you leaked their injury? Because I mean, I hate that you did that, but like 2 years ago, you got someone really bad out of the business. And I'm still kind of grateful.
Yeah, that's great. I say, and over to Fan. Why have you leaked rumours to the journalist? Is literally the question on the list, which is worryingly tying into the structure of this very well.
Well, I mean, I just sort of found out talking to writer about the hand thing, and I thought it was really bad that there were other fans who were like, you know, criticizing the art without knowing what was going on, and I thought like it would be helpful to get that story out there so people would know what was really going on, you know?
Okay. And journalist, why do you think the writer is just bad?
I mean, I just feel like there's nothing there. It's just like flat, you know, there's like just a million, it's like
It's all these side characters.
dreams and
They're so
it's like I can't keep them all straight. It's
The
like
through line is just
who
shot.
even are all of these side characters? I just want, get to the point, I might be more interested in your main characters if, there wasn't like all of this, scurrying about, It's just that it just falls flat. It's just kind of weak.
It's nothing to do with the editor leaving.
Leaving? Okay, and all the way around the table, who is your hero figure? So if you'd like to choose anyone in the world, could be in comics, could be elsewhere, who would you say your hero figure is?
Oh.
And it's worth knowing, honestly, what's your hero? Not just we'd say in an interview.
Who Max Tribune's is?
Yeah.
He thinks Orson Welles is the smartest, most brilliant person who has ever lived.
That's great.
Margaret Atwood.
That's great.
E. Joe Trimble.
I'm curious. Yours.
Mike Pence.
Mike Pence?
It's got bleak.
Kirby.
Kirby, oh wow.
Nice.
Who could mine be? I'm going to say Alan Moore.
No, in the game.
I just don't want to reach too hard. And okay, something over here. Why do you think the TV show of The Chronicle didn't happen?
I think it's just something mainstream audiences aren't smart enough to get. I mean, there's just so much twisting and turning with the plot, and there's so many people to follow, and like,
All these side characters.
sure,
Damn side characters.
sure, maybe Game of Thrones like kind of pulled it off, but I feel like maybe they dumbed that down too. And honestly, I'd rather a TV show never happen than be done badly. You know, it would just be heartbreaking.
Why does Kiri think the TV show didn't happen, Sam?
Because the rights holder didn't really want it to happen.
Amy, why do you think? Why does the writer think the TV show didn't happen?
I don't know. What happens in Hollywood? It seemed like it was definitely going to happen, and then they just stopped calling, and I just have no idea.
Max, why does Max Tribune think the TV show didn't
I
happen?
know exactly why. It's
I'm sure you do.
because I wouldn't give up the merchandising rights.
Cold. And why does Theo think the rights? Why does Theo think the TV show rights didn't happen? TV show didn't happen.
I had heard talk about the merchandising rights, but I haven't been able to confirm that, but I've been telling everybody that anyway.
Cool. That's great. Right, I think that gives us enough to be going on. So I think you've all got a sense of who you are and what an awful world we live in.
Yes.
Lainey, Kiri, Julie Mayfair, Max Tribune, Theo, and Tony. I'd say everyone take a second and just like lean back from the table. I'm going to walk away, and when we come back, or just look down. And when you come back to the table, just be in character. And the assumption is we've just walked out San Diego and we've got together for a game in a spare room we're probably not meant to be in. So we step away. Oh my God, this con. I am basically made of sweat.
It's all over now.
Yeah, it's all over, thankfully.
I can't wait till next year.
Yeah.
Planning starts now. You know how it is.
Sorry, I'm late.
No, don't worry, we're used to that.
You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
We're good. We're good.
So glad you could join us.
Yeah, thanks. You mind if I record this? It's just.
Yeah, I guess.
Thanks.
I
appreciate
know.
it.
I want
That's-
proof I was even like in this room. So, yeah.
Hey, good to see you
So
again.
good to see you. Are you hug? Are you?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
How was everyone's con?
It's great. I mean, I spent like 3 whole days in the Hall H line just to to get into the Marvel Studios panel, and it was totally worth it. I got my write-ups. And I'm happy with my weekend.
Just did a lot of meetings. Like I'm only really I've just finished doing that small book run, so there's not much editing work going around.
It's going well?
It's hard. There's not a lot of money in freelance editing now anymore, really.
I got pictures from the Crossplay Chronicle meetup. I'll send them to you. I won't forget.
Do you, how many people do you think were at the meetup?
Oh, geez. I mean, probably like between 20 and 30. I mean, there was a lot, and they were like really good costumes.
Yeah, last
good
year there was
squishes.
more.
So sweet.
I like someone dressed up as Jams, and they love my Twitter account, so that was awesome.
Okay. I guess okay. Thanks for everyone just like amusing me on this in this kind of it's just something we wanted to try for a while. Like, do you remember back in the 90s? Like there was this weird kind of story about some kids who were playing a D&D game or something like that, some knockoff D&D game, and they just disappeared for 2 years.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that was weird.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I thought that was just like a made-up internet.
Yeah, I thought as well, but like I found out there's been kind of knockoff copies of the game going around. You know, and like I kind of got hold of one, and
Was it here?
I have a copy of the game.
What? So did you buy that off eBay or what?
Yeah, I got it off eBay.
Wait,
So-
it's a knockoff of a knockoff?
Yeah. Honestly, it's the sort of thing. It's like it's probably just some person who's like, you know, because it's an urban myth. So someone makes a game of an urban myth. It's probably like that. I've read it. It's kind of interesting and cool. Like
I'm just
The
a
actual
little.
thing's cool.
Please tell me you did not pay a lot of money for this.
I don't have a lot of money to pay for anything.
I was gonna say, right?
Bro.
I know. You
Don't
know,
rub it in.
I get the idea of indulgence, and you're at a convention, and you get swept up in the. I mean, it's all good for all of us. That the emotional gets swept up in the thing. You bought a. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, killing time before traffic,
So, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I couldn't get a train ticket till like almost midnight anyway, so
Are you okay?
I'll be fine.
okay. It's very exciting.
Is that all there is?
Yeah. It's no. There's some rules which I've read, but I thought like printing them out just felt, you know, really kind of weird. Anyway. Right, Max.
A long time.
Yeah.
This is the only D10 in the entire game.
They should probably have put more in there.
Yeah. But no, this is the only D10 in the game.
Okay.
And it's yours. It's yours,
All right.
Neo.
Thanks.
Laning, this is the only D12 in the game. Like, there's no others. This one is yours. Enjoy it, Godbinder.
Wow. Okay. They're really extra with these ones.
It's pretty goth.
Yeah.
This is the only D8 in the game. Kiri, there's none other like it. This one's just yours, Emotion Night.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
This is the only D4 in the game, Theo. There's no other D4 like this. You know, this is the only one in the entire system. It's yours. Enjoy it, Dictator.
Excellent. Excellent.
Dictator.
Yeah.
Who made this?
Yes.
This is a normal D6. There's plenty of them like it. There's nothing special about this D6 whatsoever. Enjoy it full.
Oh.
I mean, I can leave if you want me to.
It's just the rules. It's just the rules.
Harsh.
And this is the D20. I'm the master. Thank you.
Of course.
Sounds like
Well, you did pay for the game. I guess you get to be in charge.
Okay, but no more being mean to you.
No, this is just the game. Right, this is kind of like, of course, I get a character as well. That's one of the weird things about the game. So we'll get to generate our sheets together.
Hold on. So it's a game where you get to play and be in charge.
Yeah. I decided it's a weird thing off eBay, boss. What?
It's
I mean, I guess
It's
you've had more time
something.
with the rules, so, you know.
Yes. Anyway, it's probably a good idea, like, to get an idea what everyone else is. Like, starting to the right, just read a little bit of the paragraph of text. In fact, let me go first.
sure.
You go first.
Yeah,
Okay.
great. Awesome. You read a sad story, you cry. Do you think that's sinister, as if someone has taken over your emotions? Of course not. That's just what art is. Anyone who's ever met a dictator would agree. By performing, they alter other people's emotional states. Dictators play people like a musician plays a harp. They can pluck the strings, they can snap them. In D&D terms, they are like bards, if everyone was fucking petrified of bards. All right.
All right. So I'm called the Neo. Adventurers' lust for gold makes them all thieves, which makes the prejudice against rogues a little odd. They all do it, but everyone knows why people are suspicious about Neo. The Neo's magical technology needs to be activated by fair gold every day. It disappears each dawn. If they can't find enough, then all their gifts means nothing. They chase it, some practically, some obsessively, most selfishly. Adventurers all want gold, but only Neo need it.
Ooh. Lainey?
All right. I am the God Binder. You don't believe in gods. I mean, they exist, obviously. You owe the fire god for that time he burned that fortress, and you've got that favor from the god of the wild when you saved her rainforest. But believe? That's a strong word. Really, no. You don't really believe in gods. You believe in tools. Useful tools. The Godbinder is the D&D cleric as demonologist.
Kiri?
Alright, so I guess D8 means I'm playing the knight.
Yes.
These 8 orders of knights are the world's greatest warriors, each devoted to a single emotion, whether it be love, hate, or fear. If they feel it, they can use it to fuel the power of their sentient arcane weapons. When consumed by their sacred sensation, they are incomparable warriors capable of miraculous feats. Nothing can stand against their blades. Armies, mountains, even ideas, they can defeat anything, except the passion which drives them.
All right.
Okay.
It's pretty intense.
Julie?
Always look on the bright side of life, and then it says that 3 more times. And if I don't, things will be worse. Fools rush in, and their friends have to deal with the consequences.
And I'm the master. Who rules? The master is the magic user as a reality manipulator. Sometimes we change the laws of physics. Sometimes we change the laws of probability. Sometimes we change the laws of the game. The rules rule, and you rule the rules. Scribes. Right, we're going to quickly go through the sheets and you sort of generate these characters. Basically, you write your actual name at the top here. It's probably easier. Next is statistics. I don't know how many of you played like D&D, but these are kind of the standard 6 D&D statistics. You've got like, and you put numbers in. There's 2 4s, 2 3s, and 2 2s. There's like underlined numbers, which are kind of the traditional, most important ones. And there's some like words beneath that explains what they get. I'm about to say, ask me, because I will generally try to help you. You know, as editor, you know, I've helped all of you, at least some of you, through many difficult times. So like, come to me. It's like, you know, that kind of like when a deadline is. It's better to know if you're going to miss the deadline early, so you make plans. It's like, you know, just come to me as early as possible if you need help.
Oh, it's like if you're like having lunch with a friend and you find out you can't, then you like call as soon as you know, sort of like, right? Or-
Great, Julie.
So, oh, cool. Now I'm a comics creator. Yay! I know stuff.
You're now behind the curtain.
Right?
Oh, boy.
So, for example, I'm just going to follow what it says. So, wisdom and intelligence, I'm going to put my 4s in there. Then I'm going to put 2 in dexterity and strength, and 3 in constitution and charisma.
I mean, I feel like if it's the full, like the wisdom and intelligence should be like not the best ones, right? Or
So, no, 2, it's like, in terms of the rules, it's like 2's apparently pretty good. Like, most humans are 2. Olympic athletes might be 3. And, you know, that gives you implication what 4 is.
Oh my gosh, alright, cool. Alright, so I'm a knight, so I probably need to be like super strong and stuff.
Go along with wisdom and charisma 4s. That sounds about right. Right.
Mine says Constitution and Wisdom recommended, so I'm doing those, and then you know some intelligence. Go in the middle there. Not much strength, not much charisma.
Cool.
Medium dexterity.
Yeah, I'll follow the underline. So my 4s are dexterity and intelligence. Strength and wisdom 3, constitution. No, I don't know. No, I'm gonna move that.
Yeah. That's what I was like. You can change it any time, basically.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like you're going to be married to these.
All right, I'm gonna put that 3 in charisma.
Max, have you done
tough.
this before?
What, this one? I mean, we used to play, you know, D&D when we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you're a few years younger, so it's, you know, it's nice. It's, you know,
I just,
something
I
to
just,
put
you know,
together.
yeah, I was younger, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Not too young. I mean,
no, it was a good way for us to communicate.
yeah.
Is it gonna be really hard if you haven't done it before?
I don't know. I'm sure you'll patch up. I mean, you know, you were the artist of the Chronicle. You get a lot of these tropes. Like, you know.
I mean, some of it's more like, you know, book stuff and
Are the artist of the Chronicle.
Right, next bit section is the equipment, and you have a number of check boxes. So some things you just have.
Sure.
And, and it's often just pick one of those check boxes to
I
get
have
what sort
clothes.
of vibe. I don't have any options at all, so I have a quarter staff and some robes, which is nice of me. So like, just that's an option you kind of like.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like 2 daggers, one in each hand. That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
And then there's pistols in this game.
There is if you pick them.
That's weird.
One
I
of
don't know if I
ours.
like that or not. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, all right, why not? I mean, it doesn't have to be D&D, so.
I really just watch people play games like this on the internet, so I
Yeah,
don't
people
know.
actually do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Watching people play games.
Yeah.
Or listen to audio.
No.
That's weird.
I mean,
If you listen to audio, you couldn't see what they were doing though. That'd be weird, you know.
Well, but like you can do that kind of thing while you're drawing. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
having something in the background, like
That would be good,
instead
yeah.
of music.
Yeah.
I have a couple friends who do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I listen to stuff like that when I'm driving and stuff, because, I don't know, it's stories, right?
If I'm gonna make these choices, do we know a lot about
I
the
do like
world? Is it like a
marketing.
high fantasy
It's
thing?
like a-
Is it like?
As far as
Apparently
It's
there's
like how I did
pistols.
the
Yeah.
social
Yeah.
As far as I
media.
understand, it's
For work,
like
but I wanna do a fun
there's a lot like the
one,
choices
you
that
know?
end up defining what the world is. You know, like if you want to play a game with pistols, in pick something with pistols. If you don't, maybe there aren't pistols. You know, I think that's kind of the way they think.
And how much time do we have for this?
I would just. I would set a hard deadline of 5 seconds now. So just pick the first one that appeals to you.
It's just a game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the dagger and the ranged weapon, which may or may not be a pistol.
Cool.
Holy warrior, two-handed hammer.
I'm going to break character for a second. I want to applaud that Amy so hard. And like, okay, then back into character. Okay, everyone's on equipment pick.
Yeah.
Next bit is the look, which is just your kind of vibe. I'm allowed to have weird robes or my own idea. I'm going to go weird robes because
That does not surprise me.
I think that kind of like, you know, there's a picture of a dude here who's got like weird robes, so I like it. It's pretty good. I'm into weird robes.
A long cloak balance between elegantly waisted and scruffy.
I'm getting
Nice.
gladiator gear, all skins, spikes, and black leather. I'm gonna just like do the whole like Mad Max kind of thing.
How many characters in gladiator gear with spikes am I allowed to put in the next?
You
That's a
don't wanna
lot of
use-
detailing.
I was going to say, spikes are hard. Can we just, can they just be one spike? Oh, sorry, it's not my
I
job
mean, if
anymore.
it's leather though,
Hey,
then
hey.
I wouldn't have to do all the reflections.
Don't get too tightly inspired, otherwise someone will come back and say that we copied them, and then
I'm
it
not
will
gonna
just
do
be a
that. I'm
legal
not gonna do
hassle.
We're not even sure this is a real game.
Well, I mean, it's a real game. He bought it off eBay, used his money.
Yeah.
Has everyone chose their look?
I'm
Or not?
gonna go spectacular evening wear. I mean, that's basically me anyway.
Yeah,
Nice.
Nice.
sweet.
Billowing black cloak, sinister scarlet eyes. Yeah.
Well, and what are you going to wear in the game?
Oh, well, you know.
Sorry, Max.
It's all
Heavy metal holy crusader.
Nice.
That's cool.
You should have seen.
Super cool.
You should have seen the DreamWorks party. I was pretty decked out. I got to tell you. I got a new suit. Looked really fine.
Was it noisy?
Yeah, I mean it was crazy. But here's the thing: like you got to dress up. They expect a certain level, right? So I go there. I want to show off what we're capable of. Make sure that they know that we're back in business. That this book is on time and it's a hit, and we are ready to, you know, get ourselves out there. Get a
We're not
media
ready to
deal.
announce anything yet.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing.
Oh,
It's always talk.
no, it's
right?
right. Right. Okay.
I can't wait.
But
Next bit is just all the rest of these are basically derived from the stuff above. So like it says, God is whatever your dexterity is,
Okay.
health is whatever your constitution is, defense is whatever it says in your equipment what your defense is, and your willpower is twice your wisdom. Which is great. Now the game gets weird. Like
Oh, not like it was.
yeah. Basically the second sheet is where you actually make specific. This is normally about really special stuff about your character.
Okay.
One confused. Sorry, there's a defense, and it's.
It's defined by your character. It'll be under your equipment. It'll say.
Oh, okay, yeah. Got it.
Cool. basically on the second sheet, this is much more your character stuff. So like, I believe there's a more complicated version, which has slightly more choices, but this is slightly the stripped down version, because, you know, it's Sunday night in San Diego and who can be bothered, right? So basically you end up sort of choosing your options here. Like, I can go around and help you. What I get something called cheating, which is interesting. And I get to choose some rule. I'm going to choose the rule of evil, because if I'm going to be like, you know, I'm called the master, I might as well commit. Sure.
It says that you have to write on the, is that okay? Okay. Oh, is that why I didn't get like the fancy?
Well, I'm just following the rules.
Okay.
This is good.
You're writing on the die?
Yeah, it says choose, or am I not supposed to?
I mean, you can
read
say,
this
yeah.
out?
Honestly,
Oh.
I would, you know, I've never played this before, so I'd like make sense of it.
I get to like choose a side and write a symbol, and if I roll it, I get to, it does like a thing.
Oh, neat. Yeah. Disarm a foe, knock a foe over, inspire all allies, get advantage the next round.
But if I do inspire all allies, that helps you guys, right?
Well, you're on the same side, you know, all together. It's like being on a team. It's
So like that's better because it helps everyone, right?
it's like, at the moment, it's like I believe in the full game, you get to choose like different bits of gods, and this one you just kind of just choose one, and you get all the powers beneath it.
Voice. Well,
Voice?
I have something called voice. When I control emotions, I merely speak commands aloud. But people know why. People know because I have this tell. I don't think it can be a loud demonic voice. But
Basically, like I believe that, like the dictator basically gets to control people when they do their magical performance, but you can tell, so it's automatically like they can't do it secretly, basically.
Right,
I mean-
because like it said it was like bards and those
Yeah,
are
yeah,
like
yeah, exactly
those
that.
are the performer ones.
Yeah, it's like kind of like it's a horror take on the bard. The idea.
I think I'm
Right,
kind
if
of done. I'm
everyone's
gonna go
scared
to
of
the back.
bards.
I'll be right back though. Don't start without me. Don't
Okay,
start
we
without
won't.
me.
We definitely won't.
Yeah.
You don't have to run, it's okay.
She's sweet.
Or she's like, she did a lot of really good articles. You know, there's a lot of good coverage, a lot of positive coverage.
Yeah. You still keeping track?
I mean, like, it's hard to look. I mean, like, you try not to, but occasionally, like, you know, that ego surf. Occasionally, a Google alert turns up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but you're doing really well, right?
Yeah. You know, keep on keeping on. It's, you know, it's like, you know, this business, eh? Comics will break your heart.
That's why we're trying to build something that'll last, because then, you know, kind of defy the odds, right?
Yeah. So, are you okay with your options, Neo?
Yeah, it's weird. I keep trying to track it back to the game. You know, you and I used to play.
Yeah.
It's very different. It's cool. It's
Yeah.
cool. You know, I'm gonna upgrade my gun.
Yeah. What was the character we used to play? What was the character in the game? Sorry, my mind's gone. What was it? What did you play?
You don't remember?
Oh man, come on! It's been a long time.
Silver Star. He
Oh,
was,
of course. Oh man, Silver Star. The time we had.
he
with
was
that.
he was a paladin. He was really good.
This is so hard to picture. Max.
What are you talking about?
So he was like so straight down the line. You know?
Well, but that's because you told me. Okay, look, I played. I was gonna play a fighter, but then the paladin was better, and you said you wouldn't let me play a paladin unless I was really, really good. So and you said, you told me that I couldn't be, that I would never be good enough, and so I said I will show you, and I was. I played for 2 years, and I was the best. I was lawful good, always lawful good.
I'm not sure if you're just doing it for a reward, it counts as lawful good though. You know, this might be a bit too philosophical, but
What do you mean?
You know, you wanted like the lay on hands powers and stuff.
No, but lawful means you follow the law. And that's what I always did. I save people, I tithe 10%, just like it says you're supposed to, and I did the prayers and the kebabs and whatever you said.
Kebabs?
Yeah.
The things.
Silver. Oh, we're talking about the old D&D. The game. He used to play a paladin called Silver Star. He was a very good little boy.
I was the best.
Cool. Have you picked your ability, like powers?
Yeah, I just, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I got the blade and the, some sort of stealth thing, sneaky thing, and a gun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Kimmy, which emotion you picked? I'm sorry.
Give him a sec.
I'll come back to that. What about your god, Lainey?
Thorn, the god of the wild.
Isn't that the name of a character in like? Isn't that one of the minor characters I remember? Like someone been there?
Yeah, maybe.
What is the name?
Thorn, the one who dies in issue 3.
I still like hope you'll like manage to find a way to like sneak her back sometime because she's so cool.
Oh man,
Maybe.
I did like her. She was good. Anyway, I think so. Everyone's basically done the cat sheet. Like,
We
So-
don't have character names.
oh yeah, you would use your real name.
Oh.
Just fill it in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like, I don't write the rules.
So my character's called Max.
Max is a good hero name.
I mean, sure.
It's better than Tony.
All right, I'll get you there. All right.
I feel like Carrie's like not really like a knight name.
Kiri's a great night name.
Kiri, it's like
Hey,
Itchy
I'm
the,
not mad at it. It's just like maybe I could be like here, you know? I don't know.
Itchy the
Kiri
killer.
name?
That's the Kiri.
Yeah. Okay.
Kiri.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's very black
Because
color.
you like kill it on
Theo.
art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a dictator
You're
named
very
Theo.
That's right.
That's
Let's
a real
like, come
power
on.
name there.
All right.
Lord
He's the
Theo?
Godfather.
Lord Theo.
I think everyone's kind of got the vibe, yeah?
What's wrong with
Yeah.
Lord
Honestly,
Theo?
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine.
Okay,
Sure. All right.
Okay, this is where it gets weird. Now, what I want to do is like take their die and hold it out like this, and everyone shut your eyes. And
For real?
For real.
Come on, man.
Come on, play the
All
game.
right,
Let's do it,
fine,
please.
fine.
Play the game. Shut your eyes and slowly lower the dice to the table. Release the dice. Move the hand back to your way. Breathe deeply. And open your eyes. Everything's changed. It's weird because we're still sitting in the same room, but all the colours have faded out. It's as if we're kind of this weird bleached photograph universe. The tables are kind of, how do I phrase this? This doesn't really look like it's made of cotton anymore, the tablecloth. It's something a little bit more like leather, and you're not quite sure what the animal is. Sitting in front of you on the table where you left your dice, the dice sits there. Oh, I say sit, it's not actually sitting. It floats a clear 6-inch above the table, pulsing with a cheerfully Eldritchian energy. Tony, he's the first one to actually come around. He's like, trust me, this is going to be brilliant. He reaches out, picks up the dice. There's a flash of light. The dice is sealed with his hand. And he's transformed. He's like he's 6'6" and covered in robes. You can see these dark red eyes glowing inside there. He smiles and says, I'll see you in Hall H. And he suddenly, there's a flash of a light beyond human experience, and he's gone. Everything's quiet. Perhaps, typically almost too quiet. What do you do?
Oh my gosh, is this like a viral like promotion thing? 'Cause this
We
is
still look like ourselves.
so-
At the moment, yeah.
this
The
is
dice
so
spin
cool.
on the table in front of you.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool, you guys. How are you doing this?
There's a sound you can sort of hear. It's like from down the corridor. It's like a tap, tap, tap. It sounds like, you can't quite work out what it sounds like, actually.
So the die's floating
What?
in front of me.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
This is some kind of bullshit. I'm just gonna reach out and grab it.
Okay. There's a sudden flash of light again, and you'll feel a sharp pain which suddenly has disappeared. Doesn't really disappear. It's just that you kind of you can take it.
Yeah.
It's worse. Suddenly, what do you look like?
Oh, like the
Yeah,
character?
tell me what you look like. Yeah.
So I have, hilariously, a set of dark, billowing black cloak. I have sinister scarlet eyes. But then my actual outfit is also covered in these sort of strange weaving silver patterns along my armor. I have cross daggers on my belt and this old, almost musket-like pistol on my back.
Sweet. And there's the cloak's billowing. There's no wind, but it's billowing anyway. It looks absolutely great. The tapping is getting closer, and you sort of realise you recognise that tapping. You especially do, Lainey. Oh, it's like typewriter keys.
That is weird.
Okay, Julie, you're transformed. What do you look like?
Long cloak balanced between elegantly wasted and scruffy. So I have a cloak.
That's true. But you're kind of you're definitely not like this. This immediately, if you walked in the room together, that would be, oh, that's the person you would shoot. But you look pretty cool in that kind of most interesting person at the bar
I
kind of
look
way.
like the most together kid in the neighborhood LARP.
Yeah, exactly. Well
The
done.
most together kid at the neighborhood life. That's a good descriptor.
So
Go look at
As-
what is making that tapping noise. I'll be right back.
you sort of creep across the room, and you're about halfway in the room, when the tapping gets loud, and sliding around the door is, it's really hard to describe, it's big. It's like an enormous, let's get away for a second. You know that writer you destroyed? You know that writer who you kind of exposed? Like, do you want to give me, like, not without going too much details, what were they like?
They were, they were just, I mean, I only talked to them that one time, and they seem like a really nice guy, but I had to, I felt like I had to I had to write the thing. Can't just let just really shitty storytelling go, and so oh my God, I wrote something. It wasn't even true. I had to make sure that they were just gone.
Okay. And what did he look like, Lainey?
Long black ponytail.
Okay, cool. That's enough for me to know. Okay, it bursts in. Well, basically, it looks like, just like the right, like an obsidian statue of him. No, eyes are gone entirely. Black ponytail that is actually, you suddenly realise it turns to a snake halfway down his back, curling behind him. His legs are basically a series of typewriters tied together, which moves like a millipede across the floor.
Oh, what the heck?
What the fuck?
And it's like, and he just starts screeching, lies, lies, lies. And he starts screeching. Okay. Immediately, there's a flash of light. What do you look like now?
Heavy metal holy crusader. I'm covered in armor. No spikes, but the plates coming off of each side.
You're properly heroic. That's a fantastic moment. Is anyone else doing anything?
That's all. You look so cool.
Okay, you run back across the room, Kiri does, jumping on the table towards their dice.
Yeah.
I can't be a part of this.
Grab it.
There's a flash of light.
I can't be a part of this.
What do you look like?
Bigger, swoller,
Swoller is a fun.
Swole playing game.
always.
Oh no, I have made the mistake of putting the two most punny people in the same room.
You bring people together. It's what you do.
I hear you say that, and I want to slam your hand onto your die. You need to be a part of this.
Actually, you slam it in for a second. Well, we'll pick it up for a second. Finish describing yourself, and we'll pick up that in a second.
Yeah.
So yeah, the gladiator gear, looking a little bit like the guy at the front of the Skyrim poster.
There's a lot of pectoral development going on here. It's like, yes.
Pectoral development.
So, and what's your emotion, by the way?
Grief.
Grief. Wow. So you kind of grab the dice. You go and slide, and it's kind of weird because it just stops. Like, you can't press him. You can't actually press his hand into it. It just kind of presses. And to us, your hand's really hurting now. As you're aware that you're about to break the bones in his hand, because it's like it's hit. As long as he's not wanting to pick it, it's like it's just a brick wall. This thing, I think it's probably a good thing to actually segue into combat, because it's a really beautiful moment here as this enormous centipede creature.
I'm going to pull my gun out, go all classic, pull this off my back.
I guess it's this kind of game.
Okay, and I pull out a rapier, which is less useful than a gun.
Yeah. Okay, the way initiative works is this. Basically, roll a dice pool. A dice pool is a number of dice equal to your dexterity.
Okay.
So your stats are all 2 right now, because you're a normal human being. So roll 2 dice, and you count the number of 4 pluses.
I'm sorry, what's the last part?
How many 4 pluses you have.
Okay.
So I've got 2.
Right, 2.
None.
None.
1.
1. So Max, what was yours, by the way, sir?
2.
2. So it is God Binder, Emotion Knight, Fool, Dictator. Oh, I've got to roll for this creature. 2 4s. Hey, a monster goes there. Right. So this way. Okay. Now we're going to come around. Basically, say this chitinous beast with the typewriting move is looming, crushing this table, flying, and starting coming in behind him. You see someone else, and it's a load of wannabe writers. You sort of recognise them from cues, like people who pitched to you, like people pitched to me, like someone you maybe asked for advice, and you know, sort of people who they give you, you try to give advice and they don't take it well. These people, but with like blades for hands.
No, but what about in the game?
And there is four of them, plus the big chitinous, like the guy who's screaming liar, liar, as his tail is sort of whapping around. Okay, the classic example, what do you do? First up is Godbinder.
I check whether the wannabe writers are coming for Kiri.
Amy, can I ask a question? Are you okay with me going behind you and sort of like a body spacing you a little?
Sure.
Cool. Well, I hope you get out of this way better than I did. You hear a voice behind you. It's like if you turn around, it carries on going around behind you.
Spin in a circle.
Yeah, and also time is sort of frozen, so it's kind of just inside your head, and you recognise the voice because you know when you sit there in the room and you do those little writing, you know they talk about the voice in your head. Oh no, this is Fane. You know, it's like issue 3. I could have made it to issue 4. I'm rooting for you. You know, root, God of nature. You know, I'm kind of witty like that.
Do we all hear it, or
No,
is it?
only her.
It's internal. Okay.
You really should. You know, we really should stop this now as quickly as possible.
Oh, what?
What? Just, if you need a favour, just ask. We'll sort it out. Bye. So, what do you do? It's one thing. If you're like basic attacks, the fella used to do. Have you read your major miracle abilities? Basically, there's a degree. In short, you've got your basic miracles. So anything like normal, like a D&D spell, ask me, we'll set a difficulty. Major miracles, basically, if you've got something big you want, just barter with the god for it, and they'll probably ask a favour. You can do it. And there's literally no, as long as that god could do it, because you've got the god of the wild, it seems reasonable.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's absolutely. So it's a mix between quite hard rules like a classic D&D thing and big emotional narrative stuff.
Right, big bum battle.
Yeah. It doesn't, you know.
Very much not ready for this, but I attempt Furious Briars, which would attack all enemies in close area to me.
Cool. You're gonna have to step a little bit closer to get to. So you're gonna step closer to get more of them, or just gonna get the one there? Come on, armor-clad hero.
It's a hesitant step, but yes.
Okay. Cool. What's the difficulty of that?
It is level 2.
Cool. Right, you roll a dice pool, which is equal to your stat, which in the case is wisdom, so probably 4.
Yeah.
And you include your d12, because it's anything involving god stuff, you get your d12 too.
Perfect.
The d12 rolls exactly like a d6. In other words, anything 6 or higher counts as a special. We haven't talked about specials yet, we'll come to that in a minute. So anything with 6 or higher counts as something better, usually. And boom! 10.
That's
No,
nice.
2.
Right.
What, 2? That
2
matches the difficulty level.
successes.
That's pretty good. Where's the bramble?
And then the 10 is some extra special.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, this attack, it attacks everyone near by just tearing them with things, but also immobilises target. When it says special, it means if you roll a 6 or higher,
Perfect.
you get to activate one special. So in other words, you can immobilise one person. Who would you like to immobilise?
Steve.
Like Steve. Murderous Steve,
With
the
the
typewriter
ponytail,
monster. Okay, the brambles like burst out from all directions around you. And a lot of them immediately, like a lot of those kind of typewriter guys can kind of slash their way through because they're getting close now. But Steve's immediately wrapped up hard, and he's like, and it just like drags him down, and he kind of stops. He's trying to reaching out at you aggressively, but it's definitely worked. So they've taken, a lot of people have taken damage, but they're still kind of working around you. You're kind of surrounded and kind of in danger, but he can't get at you, which is handy. Cool, good work. Like next up is emotion. How are you feeling?
I give Theo a look like you better get your shit together, but I have to start paying attention, so I'm going to draw my weapon.
What is it?
Sword.
A sword.
They're very classical. Switch to my left hand. and take up a guard position in front of the table.
It's incredible, you know, that kind of like, you know, when you're painting and like, you know, the way that occasionally you're in the zone and it just like everything is perfect and the lines go, that's the line your sword makes through the air. It feels like you're painting in the air and everything is just perfect. You're like a Michelangelo of the broadsword. It feels good. And the sword says, all talent passes. Oh, you've got what's the personality of the sword?
Imperious, bossy,
Imperious.
tiger mom.
Tiger Mom is a heck of a good.
Yes, all perfection fails, doesn't it? You know, it's like you need to do the best as you can now because it ultimately will be for nothing, won't it? We all try, and it's all everything is all failure. But all that matters is we do it now, darling. You've got to do it now. Murder them. Okay, well, what are you going to do?
I'm going to attack Steve.
Okay, you go for Steve. Like your dice pool, it's worth noting the way. Take your D8. You're a little bit different. So where's the little sheet of paper?
Let's see, did you toss me a little bit?
Yeah.
Yes,
What you
that.
actually do is your D8 lives here,
Yes.
and you move that up and down depending how emotional you feel. So you just put your D8 there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not actually. Are you sad at all at the moment? I mean, that's what, like, generally speaking, how was the con? Like, you know, could you sketch? I mean, you know, with your hand, could you sketch at all? And did that make you feel bad?
I tried tabling and it went horrifically.
Okay, I think you're level 1 sadness just because you're like from the
Wasn't
background sadness
that
of your life. This means basically all your you've got a greater or lesser ability. That means they're both
Yes.
activated.
Yeah.
That means you can actually
I could conceivably do a
Just
greater
throw it.
ability on this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could and you can also attack at range as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but
but you don't-
textually, I think I'd
gotta
be
run it.
using the greater ability if I were using anything.
Yeah. So you don't have to like in other words, your attack pool would be 4. Whatever your attack is 4, and you get an extra one because you're an advantage. So you have like anytime you feel any sadness at all, you get an extra dice.
All right.
So roll 5 dice and hit it. How many attacks successes?
1.
1. Is it 6?
No.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm just checking like what's going on. Okay, cool. So that basically the checking is because these are the light character sheets which give you less choices there. Like for example,
Right.
you've got the ability which is fast.
Yeah.
Normally you've got choice between 3 abilities, which you have your standard abilities, that kind of stuff. So like for this one, it just removes a load of choices.
Right.
I need to remind myself which choices I've removed.
Right.
Okay, you come in quickly, and you know it's one of those things that you move and you're there, and you've got to get close. But of course, there's too many brambles there, and it ends up like you end up cutting through the brambles, and it kind of bursts off its chinchilla skin. But you're kind of involved, and you're kind of close up. And trust me, the handy thing is, you are nearer, so you're kind of getting in the way as well. So you're kind of protecting Lainey a bit, but you are basically in the mix with the brambles, with Steve like looming at you aggressively, and those kind of like he always had kind of dead eyes, you know what I mean? But now, as I said, he's got no eyes, which is even worse.
Better me from Lainey.
And the sword goes, "Well, you were never going to amount to anything, were you?" Grief nights are hard. Yeah, so. Okay, that's great. Who's next? It is the Fool. How you feeling, Fool?
I am looking between the writer I love and the artist I love and the writer I love and the artist I love, and I go to help the writer.
Oh
Yup.
my God, this is the industry all over, right?
She's been on the book for longer.
Did you say that out loud?
No.
No, she's right. She's right. I like my line.
And
At this point, I know.
I just run in,
Yeah.
packing with my rapier like I know what the hell I'm doing.
Okay, you're just hitting the nearest, like you're trying to get on the nearest of the.
The nearest
let's call
knife
them
hand.
fallen.
Fallen.
There's an interesting word for them. You just know the word as you go in. Okay, you roll your attack pool, which is dexterity, because she's got a rapier. And you also include your false dice because she's doing something a little bit stupid. So it's basically she gets to use her dice anytime she does something a little bit foolhardy. Boom. You explode 6s. Yeah.
Nice.
So 3.
Three,
Let me just find the stats for the actual lesser guys. So 3 attacks, yeah? Okay, immediately you move in, and it's like the moment of fencing, you head down, run it, actually, just run through, and it's one that's just coming in on Lainey, and just drops off your sword. And it's incredibly clinical. You feel the need to say a one-liner?
I got your back, even if no one else does.
Yeah. You can actually hear the rise of the orchestra.
I took one fencing class once.
Yes. Cool. That's great. Okay, there's a moment of like, how's everyone, like, hey, this is all weird. How's everyone feeling in character? How are your characters feeling, or personas feeling, rather?
I'm really angry at you for taking off. I'm angry at Tony because I feel like he knew more about this than he let on.
Yeah. I was about to say, when you hit that person, you know, and it's sort of like and he just dropped off, as it hits the floor, it just shatters into like black
That's
glass.
creepy, terrifying.
And floating in the middle, there is a golden coin. Has anyone got a coin I can use?
Give me a sec.
Yeah, so everyone's got no coins in their pocket. And the coin, actually, like the dice, levitates the floor, starts rotating like a Mario coin.
Yeah.
Now, can you remember like when Max, has Max ever fell in love at first sight? Or at least lust at first sight?
Lust, yeah.
Can you remember that?
Yeah.
How you look at this coin feels exactly like that. Okay, but unfortunately, immediately it's covered because one of the fallen stabby hand writers, as I'm going to now call them, they rush forward. There are, as I said, there was 4 of them, so one is dead, so 3. 2 of them actually go. 2 of them go for the fall. One of them goes to the Godbinder, and they move, and they're just like they move like ugly pros. You know, there's like just the joints are slightly wrong as the idea. That, they don't. If only could they write properly, it would be dangerous. But they're coming at you. Okay. The one on the fall I'm going to do first, which is their normal dice will be free. As there's 2 of them attacking, they get an extra dice, so they're coming at you. So I roll that. Oh, 4 6. Ow. 6. They don't have any specials.
Do the 6s explode?
No, they're only for you.
Okay.
So 4 times. Your defense is 2. So actually it's 3 hits.
Ooh.
Now the way the game actually works is you've got 2 basically sorts of hit points. You have guard and health. And guard basically replenishes. So in words, anytime a combat ends, you'll get all your guard back.
Okay.
And so even mid-combat you can get, it's like your footing, So you're down to 1 guard. So basically you end up like you dodge a bunch, you're being pushed back, and you like maybe you hit like a chair and something. And once your guard is gone, you start losing health. And health is health. So that kind of like, basically think Halo. In that you've got like one that replenishes quicker and the other one which is really more serious. We're teaching the game.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, well that's messy. The other one comes to you. Okay, and your defence is?
My defense is 2.
Cool. One of them comes in and those kind of like, just sort of hacking away at your armour, and it's not doing it. It's not doing anything. There's the sparks flying everywhere. It's a lot of sound of fury, ultimately signifying nothing. Much like their writing, if you remember.
Oh.
That's great.
They're so cool.
Okay. The big one is near enough to have a go at you, though. By the way, Tony just looks. Not Tony. Steve, is it?
Steve.
Steve, I'm Tony. Tony has a go at you. No, it's
Steve.
you.
Yeah.
Sorry. And what's your defence?
2.
2. Good call.
Right.
Oh, 2. I've got that. So you take 1 guard damage.
Right.
But what he actually does, there's no 6s, which is lucky. Okay, what he does immediately opens his mouth and like fires a stream of black ink at you,
Oh.
like this, and you sort of dodge to one side, and it's really creepy because the black ink is sort of screaming. Because you sort of think, is this ink or is this some other like noxious black fluid, like, and you don't even want to think for a second what it's made of. Anyway, that's horrible. But that's all kind of going on. You're in this room, it's frankly already chaos. These tables are flying everywhere, stuff is flying over here.
Right.
Max, what are you doing, Mr. Publisher?
I'm horrified, but also, feeling cool and empowered and unsure. I gotta stop this insanity, right? I've got the gun out.
Yeah.
You just dodged the attack. You're hurt really badly, right?
You can sort of see a way to the goal if you wanted to. I'll put that just there as in.
I only have essentially 1 action.
No, yeah, you could you have a
Can
little
I-
bit more. You can basically, the classic way to describe it, you can do like, it's a cinematic 6
Right.
seconds, but it's like you move a bit and do something.
Yeah, could I slide around one of these creatures and shoot them while reaching for the gold?
Yeah, what I normally do, I just take a disadvantage on that, and disadvantage is like, I had something called the bad dice.
Oh, good.
The bad dice.
Right.
If you add the bad dice to the dice pool, it 4+ count removes 1 success.
Okay.
It's that simple.
All right, that's nice and simple. So I'll use that as a bad die.
Yeah, no, this is the bad
Oh,
die.
specifically.
There can't be more than one bad die, otherwise the dice won't be shamed.
Oh, wow. All right.
We must believe all dice can be saved.
And I use my dexterity.
Yeah, cool, your dexterity, and you can't use the D10 yet. You basically use your D10 when your cybernetics come into play. That's the way, so don't worry
Right.
about it. Good luck. What you roll?
So I've got 2 successes, because that's a 6.
That's great.
Oh, no, 3. 'cause
Did you
that's-
include the bad dice?
I did.
What's the bad dice?
2.
That's great. So 3 successes. Fucking that sounds great. You roll to the floor. You grab the. You sort of like for a second. You grab the dice. The dice. It's not the dice.
That coin.
The coin. You go in. You shoot at point blank range.
Yeah.
Guy's atomized. Glass shattering again. But no gold coin this time. It's like a loot box feeling. You know that kind of. Like, it wasn't what you were looking for. And he hits the gold coin. Immediately, kind of just feel like an AI says to you, "What's your I'm just thinking like, do you have a PA?" Does Max have a PA?
Oh, does Max have a PA?
What's Max's PA like?
No, he does not have one, but his ex-girlfriend he would get her to organize his things.
What's she like?
And she said she was like a PA, and it really angered him that she said that.
Yeah.
So.
So what was she like though as a person? What's her mode?
She was very, very sensitive, very caring, very sweet.
Hey Max, can you sweep? I know you don't like leave the stuff out. You hear a little voice in your head like an AI crackle. It's like you should really like tidy that away. I believe there's a slot in the back of your neck. It's like you just put that gold in there quickly.
I'm holding this coin. I'm like,
it does feel like you want it in that way. It's like it's a good safe place to keep it.
all right, I'll just slam it back.
Okay, it goes full Cronenberg. There's a rush. No, there's a rush of like electricity through. There's a moment where, like it's the Tron turning on moment. This goes through the system. It's like
all the silver lines basically go
right. Which system you're activating? You got which of your 3 systems?
I will cue up the energy blade.
Yeah, and immediately the sword in your hand like folds out.
Right.
Turns white hot around, so it's a full-on like a Luke Skywalker kind of moment.
Nice.
And it sort of zoom.
All right, I've got this.
Yeah.
Nice.
And in the middle, of course, now in the middle of all those people, but you're in a very cool pose in the middle of these people.
All right.
Okay.
I am feeling really overwhelmed by all this demon-y stuff, but at the same time, I think with the arrival of the fallen writers, self-preservation kicks in, and I'm like, I need to do something.
Maybe you get great abs.
Maybe I get great abs. I'll beg forgiveness, and I pick up the die.
Immediately, like it shoots your body, and immediately emerges from your chest, sort of pulsing, and you transform. What do you look like?
I've got this, shiny, sheer black suit, but no shirt underneath. I'm wearing just several rings, golden rings on each hand, and a crown of thorns.
Oh wow, good luck. Like crown of thorns, like you're standing there, you're pretty resplendent. You get the wind, imaginary wind.
There's
over
always
too.
wind around.
There's always wind.
There's a lot of there is a lot of wind blowing in this world. But it really doesn't move the stench of like slow dying that kind of like permeates everything as well. It's a lot of that vibe. Okay, you actually also get another half moment to do something. So do you want to do anything?
I want to go after the fallen.
Actually, like what are you going to do? As in,
what do I want to do?
you explicitly you want to use your voice for something.
Yes.
Cool. The way the voice normally works is you choose an emotion. Okay, what the rules normally what it's saying is choose an emotion, or 2 emotions you want to mix them, and you normally give it a target. So like if you had the emotion fear, you might say me fear. So in other words, make them afraid of me. Say it more poetically than that. But the thing is, I want them to be afraid of me, and then we would roll and see how that works. Or you might say make them afraid of the floor. Right. Or make them afraid of blades, or the whole point of the dictator is just meant to be about using your imagination of how you can really mess up with people, which of course is what being a writer is.
Right.
But yes, so what do you want to try?
I want to make the writers follow me.
As in, so which? What are your 4 emotions?
My 4. I didn't.
Yeah, you have anger, fear, sadness, and joy.
Okay. Okay.
So you can't really do.
Sure, I can't.
You can't do submission.
I can't do submission.
Yeah, submission. Submission would be terror and admiration.
Okay. I want them to
So,
fear me.
people at home listening, there's a chart of how emotions mix, which is taken from Robert Plutchik's Wikipedia page, who's the guy who works out a theory of emotions.
Yeah.
So, like, you use this to basically cook up whatever weird stuff you have.
Yeah.
And normally we get to choose which 4 emotions you have. In the light version, you just get given 4.
Sure. I want them to fear me.
Fear me, that's a good one. So what you do, his dice pool works differently to everyone else. That's the weird special thing about Dictator. He rolls a d4, and then he rolls plus his charisma. So a d4 and 4 of a dice. But the d4 isn't
D4 first?
a dice. You roll them together.
Together.
The d4 is the number of successes he has, and each success on the other dice, let him modify that. The thing is, in other words, he can roll 4 successes on the d4 by itself, and then roll 0 successes on the other ones, which means he can't modify it. In other words, he has to do level 4. And level 4 is enough to probably kill somebody. So Dictator is that the problem is not actually succeeding, the problem is not messing, breaking them.
Right.
Okay. Right, roll it and see what happens. What could possibly go wrong with a fearful person? So that's 3. So do you want to take 3 down to 1 or up to 5 or anything in between? You have a list of like...
Oh, Jesus.
4 would be enough to remove them from the combat.
Let's say 5.
Wow.
Let's take it up.
Okay, you turn a 1 and it's immediately, so your voice is like, what do you say?
Behold me and despair.
It's okay. Immediately it's like a booing. It's big. Is your things the voice sound, isn't it?
It's strange smells emerging from my mouth.
Oh yeah, it's like, okay, like smoke billows out.
Nice.
Like, is that kind of like
Yeah.
a serpentine, like that kind of like chasing the dragon-esque kind of imagery that curls up and like it's a Dungeons and Dragons dragon emerging from his mouth, looking like his heroin nightmare.
Yeah.
One of the writers immediately looks and it just stares there for a second and immediately takes its blade and just rams it through its own head, and then drops to the floor. It's that afraid, and that's it. It's gone. And immediately your dice will be passed to me because you can only do it on one person at once. But I mean, presumably you get it back because that guy's just gone now.
Right.
Well, that was horrible. How do you feel? Sorry, how does the character feel, Theo?
Theo feels pretty good.
Oh no, power corrupts.
Yes.
There's 2 responses to Dictator. One is, oh my god, what have I become? And the other one's, cool. Yeah. Right, wow, that was bleak. Oh, okay, now we go back to the top of the comment round. I'm going to go over to Fame for a second. It's like, hey, world's kind of unstable. That's the problem about being hit and die. Basically, if we don't all basically come to the arrangement, which is complicated.
I'm not hearing it. What is this?
Okay, we're all going to die. We'll be as dead as I was in issue 3. You know what? I should have even had a funeral. I didn't even have a funeral issue. You know, like one of those classic, nice Claremontian funeral issues I could have had. But no.
I didn't
It
think
was
we were going to have more than
dramatic.
6 issues.
Well, that's my life you're talking about. I can make a deal. I can get rid of these. And I just promise to bring me back. When you get out of here, bring me back in the comic.
But we established the Hell Dimension. They were going to go visit you at the big finale.
Well, I made my pitch. You can choose to carry on fighting these creatures, or it's obviously this is a deal. Think about it. Okay, sure action. What do you want to do?
I'm having trouble dealing with this because I've never experienced anything remotely close to religious experiences, much less a real
Annoying,
fantasy
passive
world.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's killing me because of actually having my characters tell me what to do the way everyone else says happens to them as a writer does not happen for me, does not ever happen for me. And it's too good to be true and I don't trust it. So I'm going to block out the voice and sort of just try to hammer something.
That seems reasonable. Okay, hammer. Give me a roll. Like you run for basically one. There's there's how many left? Like 2 of the little ones and the big guy, right? Cool. So you're just gonna big switch for the little ones or go for the big dude?
Okay. Two-handed hammer just has a defense roll. How
You-
do I?
You don't include the D12 because there's no. It was like if it was like a miracle involved, like you turn yourself into a bear or something, that would include, you know. But what's your? Is it roll on strength or like? What is it like? So what is your? It's a warhammer, isn't it?
Two-handed hammer, yeah.
Yeah. So roll your strength.
Okay, great. I have a special rule, but not an ordinary. One success.
Okay, cool. You just like you hit one and it starts stumbling and it just drops to one side, but it's that kind of like it's there not enough to drop it. It's not back, but so he's not quite dead yet. And you get the voice of Fane behind you, sort of going, "Well, come on, don't use a hammer. It's like, I'm the big hammer. I literally am a god hammer. I am the divine hammer. That is what I can bring you here. So ungrateful." Okay, like there's still two alive, and then emotion night. Back to you. Like you're around the table, you're close up to like the still ink spewing Steve.
Yeah.
Ink spewing Steve is my new image book.
You went for the big one?
No, he went for one of the little
One of
ones,
the little ones,
just
okay.
one damage.
I'm going,
I'll take a half second to actually explain the other thing about the emotion night.
Yes.
Obviously, you're not high enough level Samness yet to use the ability, but if you ever get to level 2 or higher, you can just immediately purge all your stuff and instantly defeat any one of those nouns,
yeah.
which is useful and it's meant to be used poetically. But like, be aware that's something you could do hypothetically.
Copy.
Sorry.
I'm circling around to continue interposing myself between Lainey and the Stevipede, and am going to strike.
Okay, that's great.
At it again.
You move in. It's like. Okay, go. Roll it. Dice pool is like your 4 plus your advantage, I believe.
Yep. Not fucking it up again, not fucking it up again.
I believe in you.
The other times. 2.
2. One's a 6 then,
1 is a 6.
which I believe 6 involves.
Oh, yes, I can use my greater,
Yes. You're better, like, you're really fast. So basically, every 6 you can move 2 guards instead of 1. So,
Amazing.
of words,
Yes.
let me find the stats for this creature.
Yes.
Yeah. Weirdly, in this situation, none of these people actually have a guard. They're all a bit too lumbering, so it's not as good as perhaps it would normally be. But still, you do like a big chunk of damage. So you slice immediately into the side of like Steve, and his ponytail comes off. And the ponytail like is on the floor, like scribbling because it's a snake ponytail, and it's coming. It's about to bite you. In which case, you just immediately take it off again. Drops to the floor. But Steve's still there. Eyes turn to you, red, mouth, ink ever flowing. Full.
I'm gonna help Lainey finish off that one that she did that like awesome hit to.
Sweet. You can like circle around behind, stab it.
Good idea.
Yeah, sneak around behind and just.
I'm going to give you an advantage on. Actually, no, I'm going to give you an advantage, but you lose your special dice
Okay.
because that was sensible.
Nice.
Yeah, as in like yeah.
Oh, 1, 2. Wait, does 6s
4.
explode?
I was like don't. Okay, in the current set of rules, yes, the 6s would explode. I'm actually going to tweak it. Eventually, I'm going to tweak it so it's only when you've actually got your full dice in play the 6s explode. In this case, you've got so many specials, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like kind of okay.
I have 5 successes.
Whoa.
And
Okay,
2
you
of them
can
were
kill
successes.
all the fallen. Describe how you
She's
kill these
really
fallen.
good. I'm actually just gonna stab through the one, and then it's sort of stuck on my sword, so I'm gonna fling it off into the other one, and they just hit each other and shatter.
Yeah. There's glass splatters everywhere. There's another coin spinning on the floor, looking very appealing. Max.
And we still have just Steve, right?
Yeah, just Steve. Now it's just like Steve, ink spewing Steve, the Steve
Right.
peed.
So I'm gonna march up to Steve.
Oh no, sorry, it's Steve's go actually now.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, firstly, Steve tries to break free. Yes, Steve basically tears itself up, like immediately sets his eyes upon Theo. In this kind of lies, it screams, and it throws himself loomingly at Steve. Not sorry, Theo, horrifically. As he's clearly got a grudge for some reason.
For some reason.
What's your defense? It's probably 1, isn't it?
My defense is 1.
Yes, glass, the dictators, the classic glass cannon. So, okay, he does 2, so therefore basically, so that counts as 2 hits. So in other words, you take 2 guards. So what's your
My card was 2.
excellent? You're not immediately. You're knocked with your back.
Okay.
The next blow will kill you. Steve is looming up above you with his and you feel the kind of like the awful caress of the typewriter on you. Okay, cool. Steve, now we move back to Max. Max, you're standing over there.
Yeah, and the great thing is now
gold coin
Steve's
there.
got his back
Yeah.
to him. So I'm going to take my energy blade. I'll get that coin as soon as this last guy's finished off.
Yeah.
And I'm going to backstab him with the energy blade.
That seems a traditional thief rotate. Backstab, I believe, is a traditional D&D move. Let's embrace this then. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, your tactical.
So I rotated, so now I'm stabbing down with it.
That's great.
So I just flip it and drop in the back of his head.
Cool. Roll your dice pool, including the D10 this time.
All right, but not the negative die.
Not the negative die.
Right.
The bad die. Not the negative die, the bad die.
Right.
That's the only bit of terminology that matters in this entire game.
I've got a 5 on there.
Cool.
4 successes.
We're at 1 to 6. So what's the special on that?
On the energy blade?
Yeah.
Where's the special? Sorry.
It'll say I imagine there will be...
Oh, this individual hit, not the whole attack, bypasses guard.
That's great. In this case, it's got no guard.
Right.
Anyway, so normally that would be good.
Sure. So I'll just...
That's 4 points of damage. Right. Yeah. Steve is how describe the blade. The energy blade sinks through the kind of
and it basically comes through the back of the head, down through the chin, and out the throat, basically, out here, and then I just sort of slide it in, and then just shrug almost as I pull it back out.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry, pal.
Actually, and he drops and he turns around. Now, do you remember that? Have you ever cancelled a book? Have you ever cancelled a book to a writer's face?
I have.
Describe how describe that look in the eye the writer had when he suddenly realised it was over.
It was a feeling of that they couldn't, like an expression on their face that I had taken away a part of their dignity.
Yeah, and as the face turns around, in the tiny little lights glow in the empty sockets, and you get that moment of the writer realises it's over, and then they fade away.
And the creepy thing is, I say the exact same thing that I did to him.
Yeah.
It's just the market.
And then he shatters, and in the piece, of course, you've made a major saving, and there's a tiny gold coin left.
And somebody's got to clean up what's left. And I'll grab both coins.
Everyone takes a beat. End of combat. Everyone reset their guard. You're actually now covered in little bits of shattered.
What are those?
I don't know, but they taste great.
This is the best Comic-Con ever.
You are bleeding.
But I killed 2 of them. That was so cool.
Are you okay?
I don't know this. I kind of don't care. This is so cool.
Tony!
Hall H.
Oh,
Meet us
how
at
late?
Hall H.
I mean, there's not even a line now, right? Because the con's over. So.
Let's go.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
Go
I do
ahead.
this big sweep with the cloak.
Is everyone okay?
I try to
was
do
like-
the same thing with mine.
Okay, I'm going to go around the table quickly. How is the persona really feeling? Julie.
Julie's she knows she should be scared, but this is the coolest thing that will ever happen. No other fucking fan of Chronicle gets to do this shit with that. This is amazing. Yeah.
Kiri.
I couldn't even fucking kill the thing. Max did.
I was push up your sadness to 2. 2 is it's worth knowing, as I said, 3 is about the maximum you would normally feel. When you get into 4, you're getting really, really, very, very bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's very unlikely you'll go that far naturally, but 2 is a pretty deep sad. So you immediately, there's an aura of sadness coming off of them. Lainey.
I'm absolutely frozen because I just don't understand what is happening. I do want to know where Tony has gone. It is so weird seeing him again. But also, I just shot briars out of my hands, and my own character is talking to me. So I've just got this wild-eyed, gazing in the middle distance around look as I'm trying to process all of this. But I did notice that Max got all the coins.
Max, are you going to insert the coins? All's well, how do you feel?
I'm sort of running them through my fingers. I'm doing a little David Bowie flips between the knuckles. I know this isn't normal. This is all crazy. But whenever I'm really, really stressed, I'm an immediate task-driven kind of person.
Yeah.
This is what needs to get done. No one else is getting it done, and I get stuff done. And that's why I succeed. Or at least that's what I convince myself.
That's a good can-do attitude right there. And Theo?
I am feeling a lot of conflicting emotions. I am relieved that Max was able to get Steve off of me because I did not want to deal with Steve at all.
And I don't even acknowledge that I did that for you.
Yeah, it's like I'm thankful, but at the same time, you know, I've gone through all this other stuff. Like, you know, not only is it that Steve, this person that I ruined for no reason, but I am really struggling with all of the what I'm perceiving as demonic aspects of this world, and also that I picked up the die, and and that I enjoyed using it.
Awesome. Right, okay. Everyone sort of you take a deep breath, look around at each other, and obviously you're trying to say we should go to Hall H. The building shakes a bit, like you only think, oh, it's California, it's an earthquake, but it's not like, it's more like, it's not like the earth shaking, it's like the sky shaking.
Hall H.
Hall H. Let's go.
I've never been in Hall H.
Okay, that's a good one.
Like, that's
gotta go.
That's a scene. I want the hard cut there.
Yeah.
Because like that's literally the hard cut
I've
moment.
never even been to Hall H.
Okay,
They don't
you-
have writers in Hall H.
it's like you'll go down to the office. You can tell it's a fantasy game because we're going to Hall H.
Right.
It's kind of like,
Get in this.
So we step off the escalator, walk out to the.
it's like take this. You're heading. You're outside there at the end of like. What hill are we on? We're in the
We're in the
bayfront.
bayfront.
The bayfront, the big windows, and you see out, and you've got the skyscrapers there, and you know the big movie posters. Who was the most important character in the Chronicle?
Floriana.
Floriana. There's a poster of Floriana, the size of the Omni. And you
Shout
know,
out for that?
who have they cast as Floriana?
Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, Aubrey Plaza is Floriana in the massive selling The Chronicle, and like all like not let's be honest, not all the characters, but like a lot of the major characters are all the way down. You see down at the Hilton, there's another one, and the downhead, the streets are literally filled with people, all cosplaying Chronicle people. Oh wait, did I say people? Oh no, don't think the people's the word actually. It is kind of like, you know, it's like a Walking Dead kind of version of the Chronicle. So he's kind of like dead-eyed, like bouncing back and forth. Because it's like, when I say filled, I don't mean like Comic-Con busy. I mean they can't move busy. Like it's like a literal sea of people pressed shoulder to shoulder, all trying to get into Hall H.
Max,
Just did this
Yeah.
all week.
what's happening?
I'm working on it.
I mean, the poster's super cool.
Are we fucking dosed?
1 second.
Like rugs?
Steve-a-peed. We were fucking dosed.
Tony?
Your voice echoes in the. Actually, how loud do you say it?
Yeah.
Top of my lungs.
You scream, Tony. It echoes. It's like because you know, you're someone who speaks to gods. The whole kind of contractive god of the Verizon-esque mode. Just a big bellow, and all the little people in the street turn in your direction,
Yeah.
and there's an entire it's like the Pope could dream of speaking to this many people staring up with entirely dead eyes,
Maybe.
and they smile in recognition and happiness,
Oh, fuck no, oh, fuck no, oh, fuck no.
and they start clapping.
Front of tears.
Tell them to move or something.
Some are shambling towards the building, like a sea wave of people tumbling over
Towards
each
our
other.
building?
Yeah, and they're kind of holding up autograph books.
Tell them to let us through or you'll kill Jams in the next issue. Trust me, that's gonna work.
Let us through or Jams dies!
And like, there's a moment they like panicked and they're confused, and some of them go, "I hate Jams," and then they kind of other ones turn to other and go, "No, Jams is the best." And they start. Like, some of them are fighting each other, but then there's more pro Jams people, and they hold down the anti-Jams people, and they start tearing them from each other.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I didn't think that would happen, but Wow.
Moderate this.
I've only been a moderator for like 2 months. Tell them if they don't stop fighting and back off, they're all perma-banned.
Reach for my guy.
Hey,
Oh, okay. Yeah. What the fuck is all this?
we're very popular in this world, it seems.
Oh, how much do you know?
I know a lot.
Can you explain it?
No, it's complicated in this kind of way. Honestly, there has been a deal struck for this place to exist. If you all agree to go home, you'll just go home. And if you all agree to stay, you can actually stay here and make this whatever you want it to be.
It's full of zombies!
Yeah, I do think the person who's created this place is very good at this job.
Alright, can you make, like, briars like before, but like a ton of them?
Like a bridge to Hall H, or like just like.
That's actually better. Oh.
So you're always good at collaboration. That's the thing. You know, you listen to the voices. You underestimate yourself. Yeah.
You're my own character. You just think that I want to
Maybe
think that.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, the bridge thing. Let's do that.
Sweet. And you'll bring me back then.
Yes, I will bring you back.
Excellent.
Lainey, we're on a deadline. I know that's not your specialty, but if you could really fucking get on it, that'd be great.
That's uncalled for.
Okay. There's a moment do you do a gesture or anything?
Just an awkward sweep in the direction of Hall H.
And immediately it sweeps down. Briars just leap out for your fingernails, and they just swipe and they get big, and you suddenly got like a tree beard's worth of growth coming out of your hand, and then it's like tree bird meets Godzilla, and which this is a hell of a metaphor, which curls across in a beautiful arc, and then its leaves fold over, creating a completely flat platform to walk over, leading down to Hall H.
Okay, don't ask how I know this, but we can all leave if we all agree that we want to leave.
And go where?
I want to leave right now.
I mean,
I'm not leaving until we find Tony.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to start walking.
Okay.
I'm running alongside and.
How you feeling?
I'm mostly worried. I go up and speak to Lainey for the first time since we sat down. You okay? Here? What the?
I don't know. We're bringing Jams back.
Okay, this is not
What?
the time.
What?
It's the Rich Johnson moment.
Wait, no,
Did I tweet from here?
I had to agree to give them. They're making the thorns, and
What's going on?
Who
with
is
you?
they?
Thorn.
Thorn?
No, sorry, Jams. What am I?
You're not no Thorn. You're right.
Thorn. Yep. I can't even keep my own character straight. I've missed.
Oh, I know.
See?
See? Nice.
Hey, not the time.
We gotta go.
Yeah, I imagine this conversation as you're walking over the bridge.
Yeah,
at this moment.
yeah. This is the Sorkin's walking back.
Yeah,
So you
It's
think
just-
you're gonna bring Thorn back?
Well, yes.
Cool.
I don't think we're worrying about any of this right now, please.
Yeah.
I think we've got bigger
I know,
things to deal with.
When stuff's scary, you need happy things to think about, right?
Yes.
As you realise,
sure.
you see that they're sort of swelling, the crowd is moving towards you, forming an enormous mound of bodies climbing up over each other, holding their little autograph books and stuff, reaching out excitedly with a big grins on their face. They're very happy to see you. You know.
Which of the two of us was better at the crowds?
Actually, your hand is hurting just looking at this crowd scene.
Yeah, I'm the commissioner.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to say I always feel protective of you, but you.
Yeah,
were you
except
better?
for it counted.
How nice. Okay, you head down. You're basically heading towards Hall H, and it's sort of you realise now it's sort of bashed a hole in the wall, so you'll be entering quite high up, on a platform. Do you want to send the Hall H?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. And inside there was actually the doors are shut and they're barricaded heavily with like the doors have been. What was the big fortress in the Chronicle? Where was the stronghold?
Centenalia.
Centenalia. And what did the gates of Centenalia look like?
It was big Romanesque, which you can't really build at that scale without having the keystone. But I Frankensteined a lot of references to make it work.
Yeah, it's cool. But they've somehow managed to pull it off in this universe. And there's an exact copy, which is the reason why when you're passing the Hall H, they built this, and it's very cool. You can take some photos if you like.
What's that?
You can take some photos if you like. It is, and also it's a weird thrill moment, isn't it?
I looked for my sketchbook. I want to like life draw and.
So the hall is actually still full of fans, and on the stage you've actually got Tony, and Tony is like blasting because they're coming at him, and he's like just trying to hold them off. And on the stage is basically because like various of the actors who in the movie have been killed already, and they've been torn apart. And like if you've ever read Perfume, it's kind of a Perfume moment, and so he's blasting stuff, trying to hold them back. And there's a mob of like fans between you and the stage. What do you do?
Did they kill Aubrey Plaza? Max, what do we do?
I'm just looking straight at Tony, and I'm just sort of like,
Have you got teleporter, by the way?
oh, I don't.
Just checking.
That would have been good, right? No, but I've got the stealth field.
Oh, that's cool.
So you said, what should we do? And then I go invisible. Yeah.
What's a mess?
I go invisible and I'm going to move towards him.
Okay, you move, and like you're moving because you can't get down because the crowd's still down there. But like you sort of like moving on the beams, like in full on like ninja mode. Like,
He's gone.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah,
Fucking ghosted us.
This email he won't answer, of course.
This email he won't answer.
Kiri, the sword sort of speaks. Of course, I believe if you really tried, you could deal with this problem yourself. I think.
I'm just gonna fuck this up again. Defeat a mob.
Pick up your dice. Roll your dice pool. No, it's not. I'm lying. It is just roll the d8. Now, everyone, ceremonially, d8 rolling is a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you roll?
2.
That's good. Basically, if you roll, I forgot what it is. If you roll 2 is a good one. Actually, do you want to read the rule?
Let's see. Let's see. Roll the d8. If you roll your emotion level or beneath, it's a roll under. Woo. I suffer that number of wounds in achieving my goal.
Yes.
And then I will replace the die back at
Yes.
0.
So actually, you rolled the worst possible thing for you.
Amazing.
But that's okay. But
Fantastic.
you take 2 wounds damage.
Beautiful.
Okay. Do you want to describe how you defeat the mob?
I'm not striking, I'm knighting on the shoulder. And as I do, each of the mob realizes they're not gonna make it up to the stage. There's no point trying to get up there. They're never going to meet them, and even if they did, like, they'd probably just fuck it up.
It's sad, and it's realised, because, a grief night, and they realise, look, this is sad. I mean, why is this as good as it gets? Like that one-on-one moment with you as the knighting, and it's like, so, thank you, you've set them free. And the entire crowd are on their knees, silent, heads bowed slightly. A few of them fought, so you've got some cuts in you, so you've taken some wounds, so you've been hurting. And the sword goes, well done. But maybe that's as good as you ever get. I'm like the worst, evil mother. It's like,
that Sam has actually played worse.
Anyway, mine's been recorded.
Sam's was
yeah,
recorded.
true, yeah, of course. Anyway,
But I know the experience of seeing Kiri, who is incredibly good with something that costs them something to use every time, but I'm too selfish to convince you to stop doing it.
Good dynamics. Anyway, the moment you're moving through this eerily silent, silent horde of people kneeling.
Do I recognize any of them?
Yeah, probably actually. Like, in fact, the weird thing is you recognise several of them and they're all the same person. It's as if it's this piece together by people's memory and they haven't quite remembered that each one is its own person and they've sort of just duplicated them. It's all a bit off. Like it's not like it's like a crowd scene done by a bad artist who's used the same face a few times.
What fucking crowd scenes though?
How the phrase is, you wouldn't have done that. As in, you were definitely judgmenting of the bad craft.
Certainly not at my peak.
And like Tony is immediately sat on the stage like this. Thanks. You always could come through when we needed you.
And then I appear next to him,
Yeah.
sweep up, and I'm just like, what have you done? What is this?
I just like. I thought our deal, our world, the world. It's like the world we live in. We just can't make the Chronicle like we wanted it to, and that I just thought that basically I was promised that if I came in, we could make the Chronicle and make a world where the Chronicle was real, and I was like, I'm just not good enough. And I could try to control, and I would try to put together like you would, like Lainey. I'm trying to make it feel like Kiri, and it's like I just can't do it like you guys. And I sort of realised that I would have to bring you here with me anyway to make it work at all. But like if we stay here, we can actually make the Chronicle real. We can we can build this world like from scratch and make it all me because I worked so hard on that book, and it's gone now, and I'm not part of it. And I thought we could just go back until someone complained about the merchandising rights. Because, look beneath your robes.
All right, I pull back.
And beneath the robes are the bright silver armour of, what was your character's name?
What?
I've written down your character's
What's
name.
that, Max?
Yeah, no, Max is the childhood D&D character.
Oh, Silver Star.
Yeah, you've got Silver Star's armour beneath you.
And I sort of look like,
You don't have to be like the money hungry guy anymore. You could be anything here. We could have a clean start. And like my career wouldn't be over anymore. We just have to stay here.
Wait, I mean, like, would I get to maybe, be a part of it?
Yeah.
Instead of just being...
You hear like the sort of not like this is a very desperate and heartfelt plea, but at the same time outside you hear the weird moaning of this infinite weird hellish crowd. How is everyone's persona feeling?
This has sort of cracked the countenance, right? Like seeing Silver Star.
Theo's Tony's in a bad place.
Yeah.
You may have actually get the subtext. It's like there's definitely kind of like he's desperate and there's a void here.
I could fix my hand here, maybe.
I could be important here, maybe.
Oh.
You could draw the world.
Lainey just changed her mind. But she's gotta always ask questions. Who promised you, Tony? You said you were promised.
And he looks up and he goes, I don't understand. It just it promised me this. It just said it could be like this, and it was.
It could be.
And there's literally confusion. It's kind of like he's like running through the mansions of his mind, and he's found a back door, and the back door opens into an infinitely black terrain that goes on forever. And then he's closed the door, and he's kind of got shrugged. That's the metaphor I will use. He really appears to clearly not know. There's one of the sky quakes, as in like there's a kind of the glass. It's a moment like a snow globe shaking, and they're pressing down on the glass like this.
Sort of instinctively mom-arming.
This can't last.
I mean, why not?
I'm like looking at the armor, and because of the angle of it, I'm seeing this like distorted reflection of myself sort of rippling in the chrome, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it. Like my hands are shaking, my body's just, I don't recognize myself. Suddenly, like this whole time, you guys.
I get this. It's a really good image.
Yeah, up till now, all this crazy cool shit's been happening, and I'm sort of ridden it because it's like in this immediate moment I have to deal with this, in this immediate moment I have to deal with this, and now
Contemplation. Oh no!
for the first time I'm sort of like trapped with this like no, I don't know if I can go this far, you know what I mean?
And we can be together like we used to be, you know? Like when we were kids, you know, we were so close then. And what's happened with us all?
You just, yeah, but then you were in control.
Yeah? But like, I'm in control here, he says, as the streets are full of zombies, and the sky is cracking. And for us, like, look at his eyes, even he doesn't quite believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, is it like one of those like friendship things where we all have to do it together and like we combine our powers and like fix stuff and it's
Hopefully.
Thorne said.
Unless, you know, I'm sure that you guys would control it better than I could. But like, it is a one-way decision apparently. Like, we've got a taste, we can either all stay or go, and that's it.
You haven't said
I
anything.
don't care about the Chronicle at all, but I've got to say, the stuff I've seen here, I mean, I don't even know what I would do if I went back and had to just go back to, you know, my website and, you know, going to church on Sundays and knowing that this is something that's out there and that I took part in it and that I picked up the die. I think I've got to stay.
I want to finish the book, but I can't do it without you. If you stay, I stay.
Pretty selfless.
First time for everything.
Can we do it? Make it?
Yeah, is it zombies forever?
I mean, zombies are a bit.
I want to
You
try
know.
to like, I don't know if it takes everybody, but I want to try to focus on improving the crowd scene. I'm visual.
It's one of those kind of like Tony kind of goes, I'm not sure, we'd probably have to get away from here because it's like Earth and it continues on and like we could work on it. I mean, this is the dice in his hand sort of like spins like this. Like we can change things. I mean, I could give me something I could try. Tell me something to try.
Can you do the sapient forest?
Okay. Pretty good actually. Okay, a major. So describe what the sapient forest looks like.
It is forests of amber.
Okay.
So it was a sapient sap
That's nice.
pun that Kiri was trying to do.
Yeah. The entire reality, like immediately, like it's like a kaleidoscope. That it's like turning around and immediately you're in this place, and the forest is stretching out, and it's really beautiful. Do you want to look up there in the sky? And the sky's really pure, and you just will realise this good picture. Do you remember when you were like, remember like what was the last time you were out with your mum in the forest on Earth?
Oh, gosh, it was a really, really, really long time ago. She works in a really, really high-powered job, so we don't do that kind of thing, but I guess she was taking me to camp when I was a kid, and so it was like...
It was like, that's like one of those last times you remember being very happy, and you just realised you pulled the exact sky from that moment. Oh, if you stay here, you'll never see your mum again.
I like that.
That sort of like.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm always here, says the sword. And I'll never leave you. At camp, all summer. And not cool.
Always winter.
No, winter, I don't know what. I'm a British, I don't like camps.
I can help. I can, that's all I ever wanted to do was help. And like, you know, be a part of it and be there.
You're throwing away your stories.
I mean, none of them will ever be that good. And like, maybe I get like a
You're good, Joey.
side questy, like a backup story. I get the backup story.
I'm not taking charge. I'm sort of just trapped in this, like, because the armor I have is that black stuff with the silver lines. Now it's all silver, and I'm just sort of staring and staring and staring. I've lost that, like, leadership push. I'm just trapped in this fear of letting you take charge.
Okay, it seems reasonable. It's like, this guy's quite, we should need to make a decision quickly. You know, so Tony's just like,
How do we
Time to
know?
think about it yet.
How do we know you can even control any of this? That you can make it worthwhile?
how can we know you can control any of this back on Earth?
But that's real.
We got to take a roll of the dice, that's all we got.
I mean, doesn't this seem real? I mean, it's like I got hit by stuff. That felt real.
What would you do here?
I want to stay. I mean, like, I just want it to be together. Like, I want it to be like it was.
I thought you wanted off the book. I thought you hated working with us.
You don't know the truth. I mean, it's like it was, there was political reasons I should be gone. I mean, it's not really my place to say. I don't want to hurt the company.
There is no company here.
We are the company.
Like even me?
Now you are.
I'm
Yeah,
in.
too, I guess.
I'm in.
Take it.
Okay,
Okay.
let's play.
This is the way the ritual works. Okay. I want to stay.
I want to stay.
We stop them. Ritual breaks. Okay. Like, what do you, like immediately it's like you.
Right,
that
shudders.
moment it's like whoosh. So you don't want to stay. So yeah, what's going to happen then? It's worth noting. Like, do you want to talk before we go? Like, I take the next step.
I heard what Mulaney said to Jolie. I would be being the selfish one who would break someone else's career.
Lainey, how do you respond to that? Or how do you feel like now?
Can they see you?
They can.
Have Thorn, show yourself.
Fawn lies on the table beside you. Actually, no. Fawn actually comes from the side of the stage like a guest appearance. You know, who's the surprise?
Out from
guest?
behind the tree.
Yeah, no, for the surprised Comic-Con guest.
Holy shit.
Ta-da!
Oh, he's just as awful in person as I ever imagined.
He is the most fabulous god of the wild.
So, yeah. This is Thorn.
Thank you. Anyway, how can I
Good
help?
design.
See him behind?
Real.
See my
That's
little...
good design.
Yeah.
You know the rules of this place. Is it a forever choice?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I love that. Oh, yeah.
What does it cost if we stay?
Oh, everything. It's a question of what you're willing to give up. That's all it is. It's like choices. It's like, I hate to break it to you, it's like the that skyquake thing. Can't come to a decision quickly, you're all going to die. And you've got to all agree, or be dead. So, if, for example, if you can't agree and somebody happened to, their vote doesn't count anymore. So,
Sorry, everyone just looked at each other like, oh.
So, I hope you come to agreements, because, don't worry about that. If you actually come to agreement and leave, this place carries on without you. So I'll be fine, don't worry about me. Or actually, if you don't come to a decision, I will also die. So, that's pretty bad, but I'm sure you're reasonable people. You'll work it out. You won't, for example, just do the hacky thing and kill off a character in issue 3.
It was part of a greater plan. She told me all about it. It's not. It's
Well,
gonna
no one
come
else,
back if
no one else
I
will
go.
ever know your plan if you stay here.
I mean, we would know. We'd know. We get to see it from the inside.
She gets a choice too.
She made her choice. Make yours.
Hey. Be nice.
We're running out of time. Some of us are deadline driven.
You hear those rustling of voices in the back of your head, like the idea there's a million. Now you've actually got Theo out. Sorry, not Theo. Fawn out here. There's like a million of like minor characters wanting to have a quick word, and you can't actually work out them between you. As in, all these characters who desperately have things to talk to you.
Writers always holding up production.
That's the truth. It was never Carrie, it was me. There were fewer cosplayers this year.
Yeah. Yeah, there were.
Yep.
What do you want to do? I tried to make you rich. I tried to make us all very famous and successful.
What? No, he's been out there trying. He went to that stupid party.
I've been stumping it forever, and I
Ever tell you
didn't.
about the merch?
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
that, yeah.
Now it's thing.
See?
It's like,
Yeah.
like Lainey, but you're the highly strung one. We do a lot of protecting you. You know, like Kiri and like me. We did some,
You think I should have just like given it all up for a quick buck?
you think
The quick one payout?
You know what merch?
We wouldn't be
fucking
sitting
done for
here in
us.
this weird fantasy hell if it wasn't for you kept me on the job. We could have
Oh, I should have kept you on the job with
I was
all
your brother.
my deep budget that ran out. Do you think I have infinite wells of money? We had a one-time investment, and I had to make the most of it, and I always have. Make the most of what you have. Hold on, I'm flicking the coin
Yeah.
between my fingers. Don't let it go.
If you'd sold it properly, I wouldn't still be having to do interiors.
Hey, now he can do interiors.
You find an assistant for you. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of like you don't have to do it by yourself anymore. You're an amazing layout artist.
You really want to go back?
I don't know what I want. I just want this to be over. I'm not like I'm sitting here and I'm like I made this. I'm like I just feel like I want to I will go with whatever you're all agreeing on. I'd rather you not all die because you were like those years, those early issues are the only good thing I ever did. And it was amazing to be part of something bigger. And I thought, maybe I could recreate the magic here with, a shitload of magic. I think I might be depressed.
Carrie, what do you want?
I'll be all right either way.
Yeah, not bad.
If we go back, I mean, can I still even be like friends with you, or, I mean,
Like all the other people I've been in the fantasy universe with?
I mean, yeah, yes,
Julie, you've
but-
got talent, and you're younger than everyone else. You're genuinely good. Like,
I mean, I do like Twitter accounts. It's not like, I mean, it's fun and it's like sounds like the character, I think, but I don't know. I don't know what I wanna do.
A lot of people's-
I
I'm
think we
not
need to try
supposed
this
to,
again
but-
one more time. We need to try it another time quickly. I want to go home.
I wanna go home.
I want to finish the book.
I'm looking at the armor.
Yeah.
I want to go home.
I think I need to go home. I want to go home.
In a second, immediately everyone's run back, and it's like you all sit back in the seat. You're immediately back in the hotel, in the room. Everything's normal. Tables aren't gone. The security guard at the door is saying, "What the hell are you people doing in here?"
Don't you know who they are?
Yeah. Take a deep breath. And we hug everyone. Everyone looks around the room, and they've known they've gone through some really weird stuff. Then we hard cut there. I'm going to go around the room. I'm going to ask you actually how this experience in this fantasy world has changed what you do next in your life. Anyone want to go first? Like, you know, how does this experience like take forward into the real world?
I think I'm quitting the website.
Okay, you're quitting the website. Then what are you going to do instead?
I need some downtime after this. I need to reevaluate everything in my life. I think the honest question is I don't know what to do next, but I know I can't do what I've been doing.
Cool. The one thing, like, next, you're sort of like, you're sort of sitting on a beach on a holiday, you've generally got a break, and you get a weird mail in your inbox and you're on your phone, you see it's from that Steve guy, and it was saying, just like, I know you don't want to hear from me, but I'd like to thank you. I was a bad thing in the industry and I was better, I was gone. It took me a while to see that. I hope you're in a better place now. Who wants to go next?
So Julie decides, like, everyone was really nice and, you know, made her feel like maybe she should try doing stuff. So she sort of asks Lainey for advice and tries writing something and then realizes, like, comics aren't what she's supposed to be doing. She just thought maybe it was because that's what her hero was, but maybe she needs to find her own things. So she, like, gets in a writing workshop and she doesn't know what she wants to write, but she wants to make something that will matter so much that maybe someone will, like, try to break the world apart to make it realer.
Come back to you in a minute. I'll give you your second note. Max?
I don't want to be solely responsible. Let's run the company together. Let's bring everybody else in.
That's a hard cut to a cooperative, and like the company name is like Too Many Characters Limited.
I pretend to be really mad about it, but I love it.
Yeah, and your business card comes back. Everyone gets new business cards. The way to make your business card is you didn't ask for this, but somehow there's like you complain to the printer because it kind of spooks you out. But the business card comes back with black with silver lining. You didn't ask for this, and it reflects, and you see your face in it, and it reminds you who you are. Who's next?
I am not penciling and inking and coloring.
Bum, bum, bum.
No more crowd scenes ever again.
Never, not even once, but holy hell do I give love to those covers.
Nice.
That is beautiful covers, and it's like you kind of and your covers get better. That's the thing. It's like you find out that the inking and the string, and there's a kind of you end up like despite the hand is.
And if we're co-op, I can actually have selfish.
Yes.
And actually get OT.
Yeah. And she say it's an ongoing condition.
Yeah.
But like you find your way. There's ways. The way you work around it. You're working very.
If
Your
you
work
have
comes
enough
really.
time to rest, you can not make it worse.
Yeah. And like it's really there's a sort of energy to your covers now, and it's weird. It's like it takes a few years for people to realise how much energy is in there, and eventually you hard cut to on stage at the best winning the best covers at the Eisners, and you have a series of covers which are all just beautiful, like no characters, just settings, and they have behind you they've got the picture of that amber forest, that perfect skull.
Bum, bum, bum.
And they beat them both.
And so Jen Basil comes up backwards saying,
Whoa.
"No, I'm glad you won."
Oh,
My actual art hero.
yes.
Lainey. So Jen Patel's now been in our RPG.
Wow.
Loves you, Jen.
I'm only saying that because Jen won.
I
Yeah,
almost
no,
put
no,
that
no,
as
yeah, yeah.
We're all
curious
thrilled about
hero.
it, yeah.
No, Jen was great because Jen was like completely like everyone else is so amazing. So she's wonderful. Lainey.
Lainey gets a wild haircut for the first time in her life.
Nice. Wow, wow.
Lainey reads her contract. Never done before.
Nice.
And I don't know if there may be signs of trouble ahead because Lainey, who is not typically a drinker or an indulger, may experiment a little bit just because having your characters talk back just that once was awfully fun. But I like back to the book and brings going back, yeah.
Yeah. And it was like the No, that's the weird thing, and it comes back really easy. Form actually works really well as a character, and there's a twitchy darkness to your work now, and there's something like really weird. And Fawn ends up like becoming this like a puckish character, and like he almost seems out of control, but you know somehow satisfactorily not entirely out of control because he's there. Anyway, for Julie, years down the line, like literally 20 years down the line, you're really successful, literary. You found an interesting way to work. And your agent gets on the phone one day and says like, okay, I know this probably isn't your sort of thing, I know this isn't where your career's ever been, but I kind of had a weird thinking about your writing. Like, you ever heard of that old comic called The Chronicle? Because like, we've just got the rights, and I think you'll be the perfect person to adapt it. And we hard cut there. Thank you for playing Die.
Nice.
I think the answer to the question, can I run it in the hour, is no.
I knew that was coming, so I knew.
Would you be able to share this recording with us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh, that was great.
I now have to face the die.
It's totally sacrilegious to
I
like
know,
paint
thank
on the
you.
die.
That's fun.
I know, look.